good afternoon, and welcome to the Balance of Life. I am Pastor Angel Ferguson, and I thank each and every one of you for joining us today. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. I am so excited on today. I know many of you is your second day of the week. Well, Tuesday is my first day of the week for radio broadcast, and I actually did something out of the norm yesterday. It was the 4th of July, and guess what? I can't say I did nothing, but I totally relaxed and had some downtime. So we are here. We are ready to go. And I want to share a few things with you. First of all, our topic for today is should I? That's right, should I? And we're going to come to you from 1 Samuel, the 30th chapter. And we're going to take a look at David, King David. David asked a question, and you know what? He was going through some things. He was on the run, but he had a question. And you know what? We all have a question, and so I want you to ask yourself, should I? When it comes to your purpose, your goals, and your dreams, should you pursue them? And this morning, you know what? When I got up very, very early, just had some quiet time, enjoyed my coffee, and these words fell within my spirit, and I want to share it with you. We actually put it up on our Facebook page for the Balance of Life. It says, I have an expectation of what I want and will therefore go after it. That's right. I have an expectation of what I want and will therefore go after it. That is our affirmation for today. That's right. Our affirmation for today. This is what we are saying to ourselves, and I encourage you to encourage yourself. That's right. I encourage you to encourage yourself. Our affirmation for today is I have a expectation of what I want and will therefore go after it. And when I was typing this up, and I felt it so strong within that says, you know what, girl, get up, and you have work to do. You have to go after what you want. So I began to think this morning. I said, you know what? I've already experienced some awesome things in my life's journey, and I want more. I want greater. And there is nothing more with you wanting greater for yourself, for you wanting more, for you wanting to accomplish more in your life. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. So this morning I had some selfish time. I had some self-reflective time. Because I am one, I love to encourage others and pray and intercede for other people and pour into them. But this morning, I needed some of what I give out. I needed to be the very, very first partaker this morning. And I was thinking about this, and I said, you know what? You have to have an expectation. If you want greater, greater is your expectation, but you must go after it. You must pursue it. And then I thought about David. David asked a question, and it is over in 1 Samuel, the 30th chapter and the 8th verse. It says, and David inquired at the Lord, saying, shall I pursue after this troop? Shall I overtake them? And he answered him, pursue, for thou shalt surely overtake them, and without fail, listen to this, recover all. So I want to talk to you today about that. If you're just tuning in, you're tuning in to the Balance of Life, and I thank you so very much for joining us today. This is the day we have to decide to rejoice and be glad in it. Question of the day is, should I pursue? Should I go after to recover what rightly belongs to me? And I'm talking about our purpose, goals, and dreams. Sometimes we, because of our own neglect And so I am always starting at the point of self-reflection. Before I can look at anybody else, before I can accuse anybody else of taking anything from me, I must examine myself and say, what did I do with my own purpose, goals, and dreams? Did I give them away? Did I neglect them? Did I forget them? Or did I even know if they existed? And you know what? They are sitting over on a shelf waiting to be discovered, cultivated, and utilized. So should I? Should I? Should I go after my purpose, goals, and dreams? Should I pursue? Should I go after it? Once again, our affirmation for today is I have an expectation of what I want and will therefore go after it. We have posted this on our Facebook page for the Balance of Life. And listen, it goes on to say, this is to my purpose. I am on the way. Tarry till I come. So you have to encourage yourself. So once again, the affirmation says, I have an expectation of what I want and will therefore go after it. To my purpose, because I'm talking to my purpose. I am the first partaker of what I am saying unto you today. So I said this specifically to my purpose. I'm on the way. Tarry till I come. Tarry till I come simply means to wait on me. Don't leave me. I'm on the way. Talk to your purpose, your goals, your dreams today. Let them know that you are on the way. Pursue what you have an expectation for. We can have an expectation of something, but not go after it. And so it just still sits and it still remains. It is simply a desire. That's all it is. But we have to go after it. So what are your purpose, your goals, your dreams? Do you have an expectation to see them manifest? And manifest simply means to show up. So I'm sitting here and I have this project going on. I have that project going on. We have 2 book releases coming out this month. And guess what? I have done very, very little promo. Very little promo. But I have an expectation, right? So I got up and I got to work. One thing led to another. I'm talking to those entrepreneurs, those visionaries. It takes work every day, but we have to divide up our time. So after working on one thing this morning for an hour, then I shifted and I began to work on our website, updating the website. And I realized I had not updated our website. See, I'm very, very transparent because I want to help you to stay on top of things. See, we have an expectation. I want a certain return on my investment. But if I don't keep my investment up to date, if I don't watch over my investment, how can I have an expectation of a return? See how all of that goes hand in hand? And so the question that I am saying to you, I'm saying to myself, should I? Because I have an expectation. Should I pursue it? There are certain things that I would like to accomplish in my lifetime. I am approaching, the very, very beautiful age. Are you ready for this? I am approaching 50 this year. And there are certain things that I would like to accomplish. I have procrastinated and I have wasted a lot of time. And so I don't have time to waste. I tell myself I don't have time to waste. Should I? Ask yourself, should you? And we're coming to you from 1 Samuel, the 30th chapter, at the 8th verse. And I want to back up just to give you a little background on what's going on here. Beginning at the first verse, it says, and it came to pass when David and his men were come to Ziklag on the 3rd day that the Amalekites had invaded the south and Ziklag and smitten Ziklag and burned it with fire. So David's camp was invaded, and they took his wives, his concubines, his children, uh, precious things. They took all of that. If we're not careful with the neglect, our goals, our purpose, our dreams, they're just sitting there. Have you ever had the feeling that someone else has stepped in and did your idea? It happens. Do you not know that sometimes you can discuss something with someone, a a a goal you want to do, a business that you have in mind, anything of that nature, and you don't move on it. And when you don't move on it, they snatch it. And there are also times that, hey, guess what? You did move on it. And they still tried to use it. We have to be so careful about who we share and who we discuss what we want to do with others. Because some people simply want to come around you to get your ideas. To hear about how, hey, what are you working on now? Have you ever come across those kind of people that they only want to discuss what's new with you and what you're working on? And the minute you shift the conversation to find out what they are working on, that all of a sudden they have to go. They have another appointment. Pay attention to stuff like that. But what I'm saying unto you is, you had the dream, you had the vision. It came to you first. Don't allow anyone or anything to come and take that from you, not even yourself. With ourselves, we can either neglect it or we can just throw it away, give it away. And then there are those instances where you have people that come and they try to take your idea. And when I say, should I pursue it? I am saying to you, you have to ask yourself, should I pursue what was given unto me? It doesn't matter if they tried to steal the idea. It was given unto you. And it was given to you to do it in such a way that it cannot be duplicated. It will not have the same impact. It will not draw the same magnitude of a crowd. Why? Because it was given unto you originally. Should I? Should I pursue it? Once again, I'm going to read our affirmation for today. I have an expectation of what I want and will therefore go after it. To my purpose, I'm on the way. Tarry till I come. Because guess what? I am coming for what I have an expectation for. I want greater. I don't know about you, but I want greater in life. And we always share this word with you. Life is there. Life is an opportunity. Life has so much to offer. But you and I, already have gifts and talents. And so life is really the availability. We offer life our gifts and talents so that life can become bountiful and good. And so whatever you make out of your life, it is simply up to you. No one else gets to decide your life unless you give them the power to do so. But your life is totally up to you. Absolutely, totally up to you. So, should you pursue the kind of life you want? Well, when you ask that kind of question, then you must ask, what is the benefit of what I have to offer? What am I really pursuing? Am I pursuing that dream to write my first book? Get it published? Leave my memoir? Teach from the expertise that I have gained in the career field that I have gained through this journey? What is it that I want to do? What is it that I want to accomplish? Who is it supposed to reach? Who is it supposed to benefit? It's more than about money, let me tell you. It's multiplying yourself. Last week we shared with you, you were created to multiply. Do you not know that when you take your knowledge, your wisdom, your understanding, and you begin to teach it to others, that you are multiplying yourself so that they can grow? Your knowledge, your wisdom, your understanding is a seed. Now, is it a good seed? It is a good seed if it will benefit the kingdom of heaven, if it will benefit those upon the earth, if it will help them to advance on to their next. And so when you give knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to the benefit of mankind, as it is the will of God, then guess what? You have a good seed in you. Now we must be careful upon which ground we plant our seed, because you know what? I have good seed. I give good seeds every single day. I give good seeds of words of encouragement. I give good seeds of the word of God. That is good seeds. And so I have learned through the years to cultivate where I plant my seeds. And you know what? I watch over my seeds. When I say I watch over my seeds, I look for those to prosper, to grow, to tap into their own vision, to pursue their purpose, their goals, and their dreams. That is multiplying myself. So, shall I pursue? Sometimes in life we have lost some things. We had to give up some things. Should I pursue to take it back? Here's something that you should take back. You should take back your peace of mind. If somewhere along the way you have lost your joy because of hardship of life, whether it's personal, business, or in ministry, those are all relationships. If something has caused you to lose your joy, I want you to pursue it and get it back. If something has disrupted your peace of mind, I want you to get it back. If something has come along that and it has caused you to lose your passion for the vision that was given unto you, I want you to go and get your passion back for that vision. I want you to get it back. If you have lost your patience because you are frustrated, I want you to go and get your patience back. Remember, this race is not given to the swift nor to the strong, but it is given unto the one that endures until the end. And so if you keep that in mind, you will guard your peace, your joy, your happiness, your patience. You will guard your vision. And you will learn to go at your own pace. You will no longer try to keep up with others, but you will walk according to your ability. So when I say I have an expectation of what I want, I really mean it. It's not to keep in competition with anybody else. It's really not to impress anyone else. I'm still trying to impress myself. So it's not being self-centered. It is being self-reflective. I believe that if we really, really took time out to self-reflect and evaluate ourselves, where we are, if we're on the right track, examining the things that we missed, because guess what? We do not capture it all. There are some things that we have missed. There are a lot of things we did not see. And oh my goodness, there are some things that we did wrong. But while I'm looking over those things, while I am self-examining and self-evaluating, I don't have time to figure out where you went wrong. So as I encourage myself, I encourage you. As I tell myself, girl, get up. You have no time to waste. Go after. Pursue it. And tell your purpose to tarry till I come. If you're just tuning in, you're tuning into the Balance of Life. And I thank you so very much for joining us on this July the 5th. Can you believe it? It is July the 5th, 2022. A few days ago, I was sitting and I was reminding myself, see, we have to remind ourselves. I was reminding myself that I cannot step back from the level of which I have achieved. So when you begin to operate at a certain level, and I like things I like things in the spirit of excellence. I like things fine tuned. And just because I go and I work with others, whether it's another ministry or individual or a business, I have to maintain that level. Well, I'm going to be very transparent with you right now. Sometimes when it just seems as if they're not coming up, frustration will come in. But I had to remind myself Saturday evening to say, you know what? You cannot step down. You have to maintain the level in which you are. And I'm not saying that where I work at is perfect, because I have so much growth potential that I am striving to get to. But I can't back down. And so I was sitting and I was encouraging myself because I knew what was up ahead of me over the next few days. I knew that it was going to be a struggle, and I knew that it was going to be a climb. It was going to be some rocky roads that I had to walk through. And so I was preparing myself to say, girl, you got it. Shift. Do what you have to do. Make it happen. You got this. And so I am learning that every single day, every day, that we have to have these types of conversations with ourselves before we interact with anybody outside of our household, before we even interact with anybody in our household. Do you not know that this is a time that you cannot wait for someone else to come and pat you on the back and to encourage you? Yes, it feels good. And I love to interact with people along the way, but it must start with me. The encouragement that I need has to start with me. What if it doesn't come? What if at the precise moment that I need to hear someone else say it, it doesn't come? But yet and still I skip the opportunity to encourage myself. So when you take a moment to encourage yourself, I'm talking go through whatever you need to go through so that you can handle what you need to handle for that day. The grace and mercy you had yesterday, listen, that was for yesterday. You got through yesterday. That was strength for yesterday. That was patience for yesterday. But you need a new refueling for today. And so the encouragement that I gave myself Saturday night, listen, when I got up Sunday morning, I had to do it all over again. I had to do it on Monday. And I had to do it today, and I know that I must do it tomorrow. If it be so pleasing that I am allowed to open up my eyes, I must encourage myself. And so this is a personal question. This is a very, very personal affirmation today. I'm not talking to my ego. No. I'm not even talking to my flesh. I'm talking to what's inside of me, my destiny. I'm talking to my creativity. I'm talking to my mindset. I'm talking to me. I'm telling myself that today is not the day. If you thought about having a pity party, if you thought about sitting around and doing nothing, and see, when you work for yourself, you have to have some discipline because it is so easy to sit back and do nothing with the thought that you'll do it tomorrow. But tomorrow turns into next week, which turns to next month, which turns to probably next year. And nothing has been done. And so you must talk to yourself every day. Write your own affirmations. It is good that they are posted, and we have some awesome individuals that write some very, very wonderful and appealing words. But I need you to tap into that original voice, which is inside of you. And I need you to tell yourself, listen, today we need to get some things accomplished. Today I need to grab another piece of puzzle and I need to get it in place. I need to examine the piece I need to work on today. I need to get it in the right corner, or maybe it goes in the center, or maybe it goes on the end. Maybe it's just a period. Maybe it's just a shadow of the tree, but whatever it is, I need to get it in place today because it is a part of a bigger picture. And it starts with me. And so I'm going to shift and I'm going to ask you this question. So if you say, should I pursue this? I want you to realistically ask yourself, what is going to prevent you from accomplishing something towards the bigger picture today? What hindered you? What hindered you? Ask yourself that question. What has hindered me? Hindered it means to stop you. It means to cause you to pause. What has hindered you? This is all personal. This is personal. This isn't about anybody else. It's all about you. And so ask yourself, what is hindering me? What is stepping in my way? What am I allowing to get in my way? Because in order for something to completely stop you, you must give it permission to do so. Whenever a hindrance comes about, whenever a distraction is sent your way, it is up to you whether you stop long enough to let it distract you. Oh, I'm talking very good today. Whenever a distraction comes, it is up to you whether you will allow it to detain you, whether you will allow it to redirect you. All of that is up to you. And so there was another scripture that I want to share with you. Galatians, the 5th chapter, beginning at the 7th verse, it says, "Ye did run well. Who did hinder you that you should not obey the truth?" The truth of what you were pursuing. You were well on your way. You had your mind focused. You had your time set aside. Your agenda was in place. You were doing so well, but something came along Here it says, who did hinder you? Sometimes it's not a person, sometimes it's a situation, sometimes it's a circumstance. But who did hinder you? What hindered you? You were doing so very well. You were on the right track. The creativity was flowing. Your momentum was at an all-time high. And then something happened. And it hindered you. It distracted you. It caused you to get off track. It shifted your focus. What I need for you to do is I need you to backtrack. I need you to go back to the point where you were on track, and I need you to figure out what it was that came along and distracted you and got you off course. Here's something else that I want you to do. If you are one that you find yourself that you only get to a certain pivotal point and then something happens and it gets you off course, I want you to begin to recognize that type of cycle. Once you can get an understanding of that type of cycle, that you get to a certain point and then you get off track, you get distracted, I need you to understand that type of cycle, and I need you to overcome that thing. And if you're just encountering this for the first time and you're trying to figure out, wait a minute, I was on my way. I had my plan in set. I was focused. And then something happened. Whether it was through a circumstance or through an individual that caused you to become distracted, and you gave it enough of your attention that you lost focus. But it's not over. It's not over. Once you determine what it is, then create a plan to work through it. Get back on track. Regain your focus. This is why I say, should I pursue it? Yes, you should. If you have lost your focus of what you were doing, if you have stepped out of line of the vision, the plan that you were on, and this is for every area of our lives, I want you to get back on track. I want you to find out. This is a very good question. Galatians 5:7. Ye did run well. Who did hinder you that ye should not obey the truth? Who hindered you? What hindered you? What stopped you? And don't remain in that place of stagnation. Don't stay there. You don't have to stay in the place of stagnation. You do not have to stay behind the wall that hindered you. The only way the hindrance can completely stop you is if you do not work through it. If you give up and throw in the towel, that is the only way you are stopped. So these are three very, very great questions on today that we're sharing. The first question is coming from 1 Samuel, the 30th chapter, in the 8th verse. He's asking two questions, so I'm going to correct myself because this is now 4 questions. The first question, shall I pursue after this troop? Shall I overtake them? See, there's a difference between going after something and overtaking it. That's why I said find out what is hindering you. Oh, this is so good today. This is real good today. Find out what hindered you and then work through it. So that's what David is saying. Shall I pursue after this troop? Should I go after that which took something from me? And even though I'm going after them, shall I overtake them? Shall I work through it? Shall I conquer it? The answer is yes. Galatians 5 and 7. Ye did run well. Who did hinder you that you should not obey the truth? 4 questions. 4 questions that we should ask ourselves. These are not questions that I'm asking you to ask yourself, because I have to ask myself these same questions. And guess what? I think that for the next few days, I need to look at these 2 sets of scripture, because I need to remind myself. I need to encourage Angel. I'm not talking to Angel, the published author, or the publicist. I'm not talking to Angel, the pastor. I'm not talking to Angel, the motivational speaker. I'm not talking to that individual with the names behind it. I'm talking to Angel. Angel is my birth name. And so that's the person I'm talking to. I don't want to talk to my ego. I don't want to talk to who I think people want to see or hear, but I want to get in tune with me. I need to know where I am. I need to make sure I'm on the right track. Am I doing all that I am supposed to do? I want to be able to recognize what I was supposed to do and did not do. Because listen, I don't do everything I'm supposed to do. Every now and then I am a bit hard-headed and can be very, very stubborn. I know me. I tell anybody I am a handful. But see, I know that about me. I am a handful. But I have some questions on the table that I am willing to take a hardcore look at. And I already know that what I'm about to see is not going to be very pretty. There are going to be some realities in what I see. Especially when I get over to Galatians 5 and 7. I can find myself in that scripture text. I have seen a pattern where I am on the right track. Listen, it's something as simple as I have this daily calendar. It's for the year, and every day I'm supposed to go in this book and update what I do. Of course, there are not a lot of spaces, but I like to make notations to keep myself up and on track. Well, for the past few days, I haven't touched it. And I kept looking at it saying, okay, I'm going to get it updated. I'm going to get it updated. But yesterday, I actually grabbed it because I just could not stand looking at this book anymore without touching it and doing what I needed to do. So I was doing it, and I'm using this as an example. I was updating my notes every single day. And then I got distracted. And then I said, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Then I said, I'll do it. I'll get to it. That's what I said. I stopped putting a date on it. And I simply said, I'll get to it. So that I can find myself in Galatians 5 and 7. Ye did run well. I was on the right track. This helps me stay balanced. But then it says, who did hinder you? Guess what? I hindered myself because I allowed a distraction to come in. And I didn't work past that distraction, but I am so grateful that on yesterday I I did pick it up. So I didn't sit idle while I watched movies on my 4th of July. I did a little bit of work. But I'm saying to you today, talk to and encourage yourself. Look over your day. Make plans to do something that will go towards the bigger picture of what you want to achieve. Prayer is just simply communicating. Get some instructions, get an understanding, stick to the plan. And none of us are perfect. We're going to have those times that we get off track. But when we don't notice that we've gotten off track, that is where the problem comes in. Because if we don't notice when we got off track, then time could really pass by. And before you know it, we're no longer on the path of the vision. We're no longer on the path of the purpose. We're somewhere else. We're over there in La La Land. And I'm going to tell you this, that the longer you stay off the path, there is going to be a hard struggle to get back. That's why it's so important that every single day, speak positive to yourself. Encourage yourself. I'm not telling you to walk around and have a loud verbal conversation. No, because I don't want you to get locked up somewhere. Somebody think you off the deep end. I'm saying having some inner personal conversations with yourself. Write it down. That's what I did this morning. I said to myself within, and then I got up and I wrote it down. And it benefited me. It helped me for my day. Now, listen, if I have to read this throughout the day, I will. I have gotten a lot done with this affirmation. We spent 1 hour on one project. We spent another hour updating our website, doing some book promotions, simply because of what I said to myself. And it's just going on 1 o'clock in the afternoon here in New Jersey. So imagine what you can do if you encourage yourself. Imagine what you can accomplish if you speak positively to yourself. And that's not even waiting on somebody else to come along and say anything positive to me. So don't wait for someone else to come and speak life into your life. That's your life. And you have an obligation to speak life into it. You have an obligation to encourage yourself. That does not belong to anybody else. That is your obligation. That is your responsibility. Nobody else is living your life for you. Nobody else is breathing for you. You breathe for yourself. So live. And ask yourself, should I? Should I pursue this? Should I? Yes, you should. We're going to update our Facebook page, The Balance of Life, with today's scripture text. Once again, it is 1 Samuel 30 and 8 and also Galatians 5 and 7. And listen, we are giving away free digital copies of our July issue of Hope and Truth magazine. If you would like a copy, please email us today at thebalanceoflife1@yahoo.com or leave us a comment on our Facebook page, The Balance of Life. And you know what? I love you. Have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow if he says so. Bye bye.